This is a tutorial on how to use pivot tables and create calculated fields in large spreadsheets. First, define the area. We have a large sheet here about uh, just under 22,000 records, and we're going to try to determine the reasons for rejection that banks stated by race. So we've defined the area. Data and pivot table, creating the pivot table in an existing worksheet. We have the pivot table builder here. First thing we want to do is bring in the applicants by their race and put that in the rows. And so here we are, applicant race. Next thing we want to do is build the values here on the rejections. Reasons. That would be denial reasons. And then also drag that into the column labels. So what we have here, collateral, incomplete credit application, credit history, debt to income ratio, employment history, insufficient cash, unverifiable. And it looks like we have a large column of nulls here. It wasn't required, every loan wasn't required to have an explanation. So we're going to filter those out. We can do it in column labels. We see the null here. We'll click that out. And now we just have data with answers. Little problematic that we have the blank fields here. We can remedy that in another lesson altogether. So the reasons here: collateral, credit income complete, credit history, debt to income ratio, employment history, insufficient cash, down payment problems, other unverifiable information. And then Excel totals up all these reasons right here. So we see, there were, out of our data set, 1,547 cases where banks provided reasons for rejecting the loan. So it's a very small subset of our near 22,000 records, but at least it does give us something to go on. What we want to do here is provide some context and try to understand what his percentage of collateral and so forth is for the overall rows. So we're going to drag these denial reasons again into values. We see it created another identical column here with the same data, and it's counting up all of the different reasons here by 5 American Indians were denied. To do the math on this, we hit this dialog button on the right, which gives us further information. And hidden in this pivot table is an option. Show the data as a percentage of the row. And what that will do is it will calculate the all the data as a percentage of the row. So we'll be able to see what the totals are for by race and row. Clicking on that, we see of the 5 American Indian loans that were rejected out of 30 come to 16.67% of the overall reasons why they were rejected. This adds up, so we can say here that American Indians found that 16.67% 67% of their 16.67% of their loans were rejected for this particular reason. To make it a little easier on us, go back into the pivot table builder, go back into the count. Let's put the field name up here, percentage percent by race. And then go back into this one as well. Count of reason. Oops. Simplifies it a bit. And now we can go through here and do, some comparison. So Asians were getting rejected more for this collateral issue than American Indians. Whites certainly, as a percentage, were getting rejected more. We had for incomplete credit application, this was more of an issue in the we have a lousy sample size here, but for Native Hawaiians, credit history was a bigger issue for blacks than for whites. Debt to income ratio, much bigger issue for Asians than anyone else. Employment history, so forth. Hope that helps.